Should you cancel your trip if you don't feel like you're fit enough? I know this is a question for many of you who are in quarantine right now, who are training for trips in the fall and in the summer. You've had this big interruption, you can't get out and train the way you want. Is there a point? Should you keep going? Should you cancel? My answer to this question is hell no. You should not cancel. And I feel very strongly about this, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why. So for those of you who are new to me, new to the group, my name is Sarah. I'm a fitness coach who helps hikers, backpackers, mountaineers develop epic endurance for big trips. And I feel very strongly about this subject because I feel like I am someone who has been in this position so many times, and I can tell you from experience, it is almost always still worth going. So little story, just to kind of give you an idea. A friend and I, a couple of years ago, we were living in Thailand, and we were not fit by any means. We were partying a lot. I think our biggest exercise was going on beer runs every once in a while, a couple times a week. We were in a group that called Hash House Harriers that's very into running and drinking at the same time. So you can imagine we were not very fit. And we decided to sign up for a 12-hour adventure race up in northern Thailand. And we were like, are we crazy? But, you know, it sounded like so much fun. We really kind of talked to ourselves and said, you know, we want to try it. We'll take it slow. We'll take lots of food. We'll make it fun. So we did go and we did do the race. And like, we did our plan exactly. We took it pretty slow. We weren't rushing. We were enjoying hanging out, kayaking, biking, running. And the crazy thing was, we came in second. We literally were completely shocked as shit. And I think the people watching when we came across the finish line thought we came in first because we just went completely apeshit and crazy. And this is all without being trained. So I want you to understand that wonderful things can happen. I mean, I think even if we had come in last, we would have been so proud of ourselves, so excited, had such a great experience. We didn't need to be ripped and fit and just totally amazing in order to complete this race. And the same is going to be true for you as you're going out there for your summer trips, your fall trips. You're probably not going to feel the way that you want to, and you will not have trained the way you want to. But let me just give you a couple of reasons why you shouldn't throw in the towel, why you should keep going. So the first one is I think we all tend to really underestimate our fitness. I can tell you, this thing that I did when we signed up for this adventure race, not being trained, I've done that a lot. I've been like, oh, it sounds cool to walk across the Grand Canyon. Oh, it sounds cool to run like a half marathon when I've been sitting on the couch for the past 6 months. And, you know, I never go, and even for things where I've trained, I've always gone into it feeling like it's not enough. And it often really is enough. And sometimes it's more than enough. It's plenty. So just understand that it's pretty normal. Your brain will tell you this, kind of your survival brain that wants you to not take risks will tell you that you're not trained enough, that this is stupid, that it'll send you all these negative messages. So you really just have to understand that that's what it does. Be like, hey, brain, I hear you, but we're going to do this anyway. I got a plan. It's okay, brain. Calm the F down. Number two, reason to keep going. It really is better to go into big trips, whether it's a mountain climb or a race. It really is better to go in a little bit undertrained than it is to go in overtrained. You can still do it if you're undertrained. And in fact, what a lot of people have the temptation to do, and I think this could be a problem after this pandemic, is that you want to, as soon as you are able to get back to training in the mountains, doing training hikes, you might be tempted to really rush and try to make up for lost time. Don't do that. Just start where you are, start ramping yourself back up, get as far as you can, and let that be enough. Going, as someone who has done things overtrained as well a couple of times, it's miserable. And it really does not add to your enjoyment of the trip, and it actually will make you less likely to get to the top. So better undertrained than overtrained. Write that on a little post-it and put it on your mirror. Number three, I think, especially with the quarantine, one thing that's important to realize is that everybody is in the same boat pretty much. I think whenever, especially if you're signed up for a group trip, say going to climb a mountain with an outfitter and there's going to be other people there, it's natural to want to panic a bit and think, I'm going to be the worst one. Everybody's going to leave me behind. I'm going to hold up the group. I'm going to be terrible on the rope team. Just let all that go. Everyone is in the same damn boat right now. None of us can really do what we want to do. Definitely some have it worse than others. There are people around our country, you might be one, that really are not allowed to go further than like a kilometer from their home, or are only allowed to go out very briefly for very essential functions. But, I probably have it about as good as anyone has it right now. I live in Colorado. We still have a lot of trails and parks open. But yeah, we still can't do a whole lot. They're encouraging us not to go to the mountains just to keep from spreading the disease to rural communities. So even normally I would have such an advantage living here, but I probably don't have a whole lot of training resources at the moment over someone that lives somewhere super flat, like say Minnesota. So understand that everyone on your trip is going to be feeling the same way. They're probably all anxious about their fitness. So, don't give up on yourself just because you're already in your head comparing yourself to other people. All the other people are pretty much in the same boat. And final reason, number 4, really, when we think about mountaineering and we think about ultra running and racing, we tend to make a big deal out of fitness, as we should. Fitness makes it easier, so much more enjoyable. It's fun to see how fit we can get, how well we can do, fun to compete with ourselves, try to set our own records. But really, at the end of the day, if you do a lot of these sports, one thing you're going to realize is that it's 80% in your mind. And when you go to climb a big mountain, for example, Mount Rainier, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Whitney, thinking of things that people in the group are training for, you really start to realize how little of it is your fitness and how much is your mindset. And I can say this to you as someone who's kind of made a career out of just going for things that I wasn't completely well trained for. This adventure race was just one example. Believing that, I'm going to be okay no matter what. I will make the best out of it no matter what. I will find a way to have fun no matter what, is so much more essential to getting to the top than having, I think you have to have some fitness. You don't want to collapse halfway up and fall on your face. But once you kind of hit a certain threshold, it's all in the mind. It really is kind of a superpower that you can develop to just be all in, to tell yourself that it's going to be fun, that you can do it, that you're fine, that I always tell myself, I don't have control over getting to the top or what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Exactly what was supposed to happen. Just kind of give it all up to the universe. Whatever happens was exactly what was supposed to happen. It's perfect the way it is. And that will just take so much stress off of you, I think. And either you'll make it to the top or you won't, but you'll go, you'll try, you'll give yourself an opportunity, and you will learn many things along the way. So once again, should you quit when you feel like you're not fit enough? I really think you shouldn't, as long as you can do so safely. If you're doing some kind of solo trip where there's no rescue, if you aren't able to make it, I think that's a little bit of a different story. But for 99% of the things that we're all doing in this group, I think it's probably just fine. So do your best in quarantine, train as well as you can, and give yourself a lot of grace. We're all going through kind of a difficult time. Everything's changed. Everything's in upheaval. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Now, if you're really struggling with this workout in quarantine thing, I do have a resource that I want to share with you. I've created 3 I call them quarantine-friendly workouts, and they are designed for different scenarios that could happen. So there's one where, you're able to get to some trails, you're able to more or less follow your normal training plan, but you need some home fitness, you need a couple modifications. There's one that's kind of a pared down version of that. It's a good one if you're supposed to be if you're in a type of lockdown where you're very close to home, can't really get to any parks or trails. And there is one that's all at home if that's either something that is imposed upon you. You really can't go outside. I know there's places in the country, places around the world like that right now. Or you might really choose not to work out outside right now, just if you want to be extra safe, if you want to protect yourself, someone you're living with who's vulnerable, that's totally cool. I got a workout for you too. There's a link up above in the description of this video where you can click and grab all 3 of those from my Google Drive folder. It'll ask you to fill out a form. It'll ask for your email. If you're already on the email list, just pop it in. It's not gonna add you twice to the list. The email system is smart. So definitely check those out if that's something that you think will help you. And to all of you, just good luck. I know this is such a tough time right now, and I'm there with you. It's been very hard to keep training, keep motivated, but it's all gonna be worth it. Someday we're gonna get out of this quarantine, and it's gonna be so awesome if you're pretty fit and can just go out right away and start doing stuff because you did some work while you were here, the best work you could do. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep keeping on, and I will see you around the group. Bye, guys. Take care.